Hello dear students and welcome to another video of class 10th chemistry. So in this video what we'll be doing is looking at basics of IUPAC nomenclature, and we'll be doing a series of these videos, and this is the first video of the series. So today what we'll do is we'll try and do a few examples and understand how you can name organic compounds using IUPAC nomenclature rules. So in IUPAC system, there are 5 parts of a compound's name, which contain secondary prefix, primary prefix, word root, primary suffix, and secondary suffix. Today, the examples that we'll do will have at max 3 of these parts. So up to the last example, there'll be some examples which will contain max of 3 parts, which will contain primary prefix, word root, and primary suffix. And for most of the examples, you'll have word root and primary suffix making a part of the name. So where does the word root origin from, and where do we find primary prefix? So here is a small table which is telling you how to identify the word root of a compound. So you just identify the number of carbon atoms in the parent chain. Parent chain is the longest carbon chain. So according to the number of carbon, you decide the word that you need to choose. That is, if you have a single carbon atom, you choose the word meth. If you have 2 carbon atoms, you choose the word eth, and so on. If you have 6 carbon atoms, you choose hex. If you have 7, you choose hept, and the series goes on like that. So these are a few names you will need to remember them in order to name IUPAC compounds. So this is how you choose the word root. And for the primary suffix, let's look at the another table. So if you have saturated carbon chain, you take the primary suffix as ane, ane, after the word root. What this means is if there are only single bonds, you take the prefix as suffix as ane. If there is a double bond, you take the suffix as "-ine", and if there is a triple bond, you take the suffix as "-ine". So just remember these 2 things and we'll start naming the compounds. Choose the word root from the table and choose the suffix depending on the type of bonds in the carbon chain. So let's move ahead and apply these rules on the examples. So here is the first example, CH4. So there's only 1 carbon in this. So we take the word root as the word root as meth. And since there are no double bonds in this, we take the suffix as ane. So the 2 parts are meth, ane. Let's apply the same rules on another set. Here you see you have 2 carbon atoms in the parent carbon chain, the longest carbon chain, and there are no double bonds in it. So the word root for 2 carbons will be eth. So we write eth, and the suffix for single bonded carbon atoms is ane. So you add it ane. So this becomes a single word, ethane. Ethane, ethane, you pronounce it differently in different accents. Then let's move on to our next example. So here you have 3 carbon atoms. So students, try and figure out in your mind, how will you name this? There are no double bonds in this. There are no triple bonds in this. The suffix is going to be ane. And because there are 3 carbon atoms, the word root will be prop. So you'll name it as propane, and you call it as propane in day-to-day languages. Let's move ahead, take a larger number of carbon atoms. So there's a way of writing carbon chains like this. So what this means is there's a CH3 at the end, then there are 6 CH2 continuation, and then there is again CH3. So if I spread this chain out, you have CH3, then you have 6 times CH2. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you have CH3 again. So just count the total number of carbon atoms that you have here. What is the total number of carbon atoms here? Count it out. It should come out to be 8. So the longest chain contains 8 carbon atoms, and since there are no double bonds, the suffix will still remain ane. So the name of this compound comes out to be octane. You must have heard this name somewhere close to petrol pumps, where they say high octane petrol. So this is actually a compound which is a part of or is in some quantities present in fuels. Let's move ahead. These are all examples containing single bonds. These are known as saturated hydrocarbons or alkanes. These are called as, this category are known as alk, that is for the word root, and anes for the suffix because of single bonded carbon atoms. Now let's move on to the next category where you have double bonds. So here you have two carbon atoms and a single double bond. So you, because of two carbon atoms, you take the word root as eth, but the suffix comes out to be as ene, and this becomes ethene. So when it was single carbon atoms, you had ethane. When you have double bonded carbon atoms, you have ethene. Let's move ahead. The next compound that we have is three carbon atoms and a single double bond. And it does not matter if you place the compound here, if you place the double bond here, or it would have been here and this would have been single bond. The name would have been the same, and this would have been called as, because of three carbon, prop, and because of the double bond, ene. So the name comes out to be propene. Propene. In flow, we call it as propene. Next, when we move ahead, there's something that we'll need to learn here, which is known as numbering of carbon atoms. Why do we need to learn it? We'll see. Or why do we need to understand it? We will see. So here you have one, two, three, four carbon atoms, but you have two different positions. See, in our previous case, no matter where you place double bond, you place it on the right hand side, or this would have been the double bond, you place it on the left hand side. The compound looks the same. It has one double bond, one single bond, and the double bond is on the terminal or the corner carbon atom. So it does not matter where you place the double bond. Propene, there is only one way to make propene. If you know the name, you will only always get to this formula only, or this structure only. But when you talk about four carbon atoms, there are actually two different possible positions for double bond. See, the terminal position is either on the right hand side, or you could have terminal position on the left hand side. That is not a problem. The problem is you could also have a double bond in the middle position. So the name should reflect that should we place the double bond on the corners, or should we place the double bond on the central place? How do you do this? You number the carbon chain. So the carbon chain is numbered in such a way that your double bond gets the lowest number. That is, let's see how we can number this chain. So there are two ways to number this. If you number from left hand side, so you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there's another way where you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, how to choose the number is, see, if you take the top numbering pattern, the double bonded carbon comes at number 3. While if you take the bottom way of numbering the carbon chain, the double bonded carbon comes at number 1. And we will always prefer the numbering where you get the lower number for the double bonded carbon atom. So we'll prefer yellow numbers and we'll number the chain accordingly. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 carbon atoms, but the double bond is placed on the first carbon atom. So how you will name it? The word root, because of 4 carbon, will be but. That has no change in it. Because there is double bond, there will be ene in it, but there is a number that you place in between, and that number will be 1. So let me just quickly rewind this to you. The name you would have normally written without the number would have been 4 carbons, 1 double bond, butene. But because there can be an ambiguity in the position of double bond, because when you say butene, you don't know whether you'll have to place double bond on the corner or on the middle. So what you do is you put in a number which tells you where to put the double bond. So when you number the chain, you number it in such a way that double bond gets the lowest possible number. So lowest possible number can be 1. You always start from the ends of the chain. You can't start from the middle. So you get the name as but 1 ene. Let's do this case in a different example. Here in this second case, it does not matter how you number it. Let's see. If you number it from the top, you get 1, 2, 3, 4. The double bonded carbon is at 2. If you number it from bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, the double bonded carbon is still at number 2. So either way you do the numbering, you are doing it correct. You just need to remember that the double bond comes at the second carbon. So still there are 4 carbons. So you call this as bute. So we will write it as bute. The number here will be 2 because the double bond is placed on the second carbon atom. Then because there is a double bond, you call it as ene. So the name of this compound is bute 2 ene. Moving further in this series, talking about triple bonds. So for single bond we had ane, for double bond we had ene, for triple bond we'll have the suffix as "-ine". So let's see how we'll use this. So here you have 2 carbon atoms with the triple bond. The word root simply comes out to be eth because of 2 carbon atoms, and because it's a triple bond you call it as "-ine". So the name is ethyne. Moving forward, you have 3 carbon atoms. There is only one type of position. It will always be between carbon 1 and 2, irrespective of the position. You make a triple bond here or you make a triple bond here, it will always be between 1 and 2, either from the left hand side or from the right hand side. So you don't need to number it out. So you just need to write prop, and because of the triple bond, "-ine", propine, and without the numbering you'll always come to the same structure of the compound. Next, again coming on to 4 carbon atoms here. In this case we'll need to number because we have 2 possible position, either the 2 corners or the middle position for the triple bond. So you'll have to number, and I guess from your last example you would have recognized when we were numbering things that what number sequence will be preferred. Do you prefer the red one or the yellow one? Just make a quick recall and you should be able to understand that the number that we'll choose is the yellow numbering sequence, because in this case you get the lowest possible number for the triple bond. So there are 4 carbon atoms, 1 2 3 4. The word root is bute. The word root comes out to be bute. The location of the triple bond is on the first carbon, so you call it as 1, and because there is a triple bond you call it as "-ine". So this is bute 1-ine. And if you look at the another example, here you have 1 2 3 4 carbons again, but the position of the triple bond is 1 2 on the second carbon, so you call this as bute, but instead of 1 you will use 2 here. So let's do this here. So the name comes out to be bute 2 and "-ine" because there's a triple bond in it. So I hope the basics of the namings of anes, saturated hydrocarbons, and unsaturated is ene and "-ine is clear. Let's look at a little more complex example where you have both a double bond and a triple bond. So how do you go about it? Let's see. So there are how many carbon atoms? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. The word root will come out to be, the word root will be oct. Now we need to number the carbon chain. So we start numbering from 2 different sides and we'll see. So you have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. In this numbering you give number 2 to the double bond and you give number 4 to the triple bond, and let's see in what happens in another case scenario when you number from the right hand side. So in this case you number from right hand side 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 and 8. In this case you give number 4 to the triple bond. So 2 to the double bond is smaller than 4 to the triple bond. And as I told you that what we'll do is we'll always try to give the lowest possible numbers. So you have 2 and 4 instead of 4 and 6. So because 2 and 4 are smaller numbers, you choose them. So what you do is you see which is the smallest possible number that you get on your first point of difference. So this is 2 on the red number line and this is 4 on the yellow number line, and because 2 is smaller than 4 you'll always prefer this. So how the name will come out to be, the number will, let's write down the name. So you have the word root oct. Now you have 2 different suffixes because you have "-ene" for double bond and "-ine" for triple bond. Remember the numbering, the preferred numbering is the red one, and let's number it accordingly. So you have oct 2 is een and 4 is ein. So you add the two. If this would have been only a double bond, you would have named it as oct2ene. If this would have been only a triple bond, you would have named it as oct4ine. But because you have both a double bond and a triple bond, you name it as oct2ene for the double bond and 4-ine for the triple bond. Okay, let's move ahead to the more complex example. What we'll be doing is, in our coming up videos or the in upcoming series, we'll be looking at more such examples which are complex in nature. Let's look at one more complexity for this video, and in the next video we'll always be starting with better examples, or let's not call it better, let's call it as more complex examples. So in this case, what you have done is, you have two possible chains. You can take 1, 2, 3, 4 as your parent chain, or you can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as your parent chain. And remember it as a thumb rule that you always try and choose the longest continuous chain. So in this case, what we'll do is we'll choose the longest possible carbon chain. And that chain is this. So this is the longest possible carbon chain, and what left out is known as an alkyl group. As in, you have one carbon left, so this is meth and methyl group. So let's start numbering it again, because we'll have to tell that at what position this methyl group is placed. So it won't matter you number it from top to bottom, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, or you number it from bottom to top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In both the numbering systems, the group methyl comes out at position 3. So how you will number this? Methyl is our prefix now. So up until now we saw the examples where you had word root and you had the suffix. Now we'll have a prefix. So prefix is 3 methyl. Let me write it properly. 3 methyl, because 3 is the position and methyl is the group name. Word root is how many carbons? 5. So the word root comes out to be pent. And the suffix, because there are no double bonds, is ane. The suffix is ane. So when you join this, you have a prefix, then you have word root, then you have a suffix. Joining these three together, the name comes out to be 3 methyl pentane. And that is your answer for this type of a compound. And let's do one more example to understand this rule clearly. First thing, what you will do, by looking at this compound, you'll try to find out the longest possible chain. So there are three possibilities. You either go straight, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 carbons, or you go to bottom, starting from left. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon atoms, or from starting from right, you go to bottom. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we just saw that the maximum possible carbon change is 6. You either go from left to right to bottom, or you go straight. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. In this case, let's also do the numbering on the two possible scenarios. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you take the straight carbon chain, the side chain, because it's 2 carbon is ethyl, comes at number 3. Okay. Now let's compare it. If we don't do this, we take the bottom carbon chain. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In this case, also you have an ethyl carbon chain left, and this is also placed at 3. So ultimately, it does not matter whether you take the longest carbon chain straight or you take from bottom to right or right to bottom. The numbering for the side chain is coming out to be 3. So you take either of these and name it out. So let's do this. Let's select our chain first. And I would like to do this preferably using the straight chain. So let's keep this as our main chain and use the red numbering as a numbering system. So what we have is that the prefix you have positioned at 3 and there are 2 carbon atoms. So this is eth because of 2 carbon atoms and il because this is a side chain. So prefix is 3 ethyl. The word root, because there are 6 carbon atoms, is hex, and suffix because of the absence of any double or triple bond is ane. When you connect the three things, the name that you get is 3 ethyl hexane, and that is the name for this hydrocarbon. So I hope this video would have intrigued you a little about the naming of organic compounds and the rules laid down by IUPAC. We'll be doing a series on of videos on this so that you get a clear idea of naming organic compounds. But I hope this would have been a great help in clarifying a few of your doubts that would have been troubling you in understanding how to name organic compounds. So guys, use this video well. We'll be posting up few more updates with few more complex cases to improve your understanding. Till then, take care. Bye bye. See you.